Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we will be covering the Hawaiian snowbush or the Breynia Nivosa. So the Breynia Nivosa was actually covered by me earlier. However, I went back and I kind of looked at the video and I was not very happy with how it turned out to be, because I really didn't like the way I was talking. At the same time, I really didn't like the way I captured the video. So here is a new video. I will be talking all over again about the Breynia Nivosa. This is out of popular demand because some of you have been asking a lot about this plant, and a lot of you actually like this foliage plant which does not give out flowers, and I'm really happy about that. So propagation, I will be not talking about it. It is very similar to the earlier episode that I had covered on the Breynia Nivosa, so you can check that out. I will be providing a link to it at the end of this video. So you can propagate this with the help of stem cuttings, and this is that particular stem cutting which was taken from that video. So you need a container as big as this, because always choose a container size next to the existing container. So it should always have a drainage hole. A drainage hole at the bottom is very essential. The drainage hole for this particular container was on the side, so I had created a new drainage hole at the bottom. So now I will be adding some drainage materials. So these are just broken ceramic pots. So once you add the drainage material, let us remove the plant from the existing container. Make sure that you tap the edges or the sides of the existing container to remove the plant very carefully. So one more thing about this plant is that it would take approximately 4 to 5 months for the sapling to grow really good roots, and here I will be showing you the root system. It looks very healthy and it also looks really long. So this is the time when you have to actually repot this plant into a bigger container. So folks, this plant is primarily grown for its foliage color, and it is called the Hawaiian snowbush for a reason, and the reason is that this white color that you see on the green leaves kind of resemble the snow. So this plant also comes with an element of pink on its leaves as well, so it kind of compensates for the flowerless nature of this plant. So the potting medium that I will be using here is around 30% sand, 20% compost and 50% garden soil. So if at all your potting medium is a little more clayey, then do not worry, because the Breynia Nivosa is not a very drought tolerant plant. It definitely likes consistent watering. It has to be wet throughout, but not very soggy wet. That is, water should not be stagnating at the bottom of the container. The water should drain out completely after drenching the soil with water through the drainage hole. Then another thing that you have to keep in mind is that when you are growing this indoors, then always check with your finger. If the soil is dry, then pour the water. But if it is outside, then you can keep a consistent level of watering and this plant will do really well. If the water levels are really low, then the leaves kind of shrivel, and then that is a good sign for you to water the plant again. So another important aspect of this plant is that it is a very shade loving plant. However, if you are growing this indoors, then grow it either in a south or a west direction where it gets bright light throughout the day. So that is very important. It has to get really bright indirect light if you are growing this indoors. If you are growing this in the veranda and the patio, then any bright light conditions or any direction is perfectly fine with this plant. An east, north, south or west direction is perfectly fine if it is outside, either in your terrace or in your veranda or your patio. But kind of avoid putting this under direct sunlight. It can survive direct sunlight conditions, but it is kind of advisable that you do not put this under direct sunlight. So another thing is that I've added compost into this particular container. So the Breynia Nivosa, to perform really well, it needs a little bit of organic matter, a little bit of fertilizing. So you can either use your chemical fertilizers which have a nitrogen element, that is N in the NPK element has to be high, or you can just use organic matter like I just did, and that will do perfectly fine. So now what we will be doing is to just water this plant. So I'm using rainwater. Initially you can just use rainwater, and then after that tap water is also perfectly fine with this plant. I love it, especially when I see those pink tinge in these leaves peeking out amidst the white and the green color. So my dear friends, this is a wonderful plant to bring home, and it is a very easy plant to propagate as well. I already have 4 saplings of these and I don't know what I should do with them. So it is very easy to propagate this plant, and it is also very easy to take care of this plant. So that is it, folks. We have come to the end of the Breynia episode, and we will be coming up with more such informative videos in the future as well. So stay tuned and keep subscribing, liking and sharing Urbanscape Bangalore. Until we meet again, a very warm goodbye.